the first part ultimately is looking at that risk assessment programme and then delivering a remedial action programme for the client with a demonstrable audit trail. So after the contractor has been instructed to go and do the works, they then have to provide evidence to us that those works have indeed been completed to standard. And that will involve a two-stage process. It could be for higher risk works, we'll do a proportionate post-inspection of those works. And for the rest of the work, what we'll be doing is a desktop exercise, reviewing evidence submitted by the contractor to us to demonstrate that they have indeed done that work to standard and done all of the work required by that risk assessment that has been authorised by us. We'll look at the recommendations, validate them, check them for under or over specification, check them for cost, and to ensure that ultimately that those recommendations, once instructed to a contractor, will bring the compliance level of that site to an acceptable level of cost, because of course we're talking about reasonable practicability when it comes to any measure of health and safety. We do find that sometimes the same contractor is delivering the risk assessment piece, which ultimately generates an action plan of works to be completed, and then that same contractor is completing the works. So we'll sit as an independent party making sure that the work that they are recommending that they ultimately will complete themselves is proportionate and is not over-specified, so that the client is protected in as much as the work that is being delivered by that contractor will deliver compliance, but not at a cost which is above what they necessarily spend to ensure that level of compliance. Practically, we'll deliver that by an inspection regime, which is going out and checking that work on site, and by a desktop exercise, an overview of all evidence of work completed by that contractor. That flows through from risk assessment to recommendation to the delivery of the remedial action programme. And we have oversight of that whole process all the way through to final sign-off of the remedial works so that that contractor can ultimately be paid. One of the advantages of working with Clear Safety is that we work across so many different compliance streams, from fire to water hygiene to gas safety, electrical safety and M&E. Working across all of those compliance streams, we're basically collating an enormous amount of data, and this is extremely helpful for clients that are concerned about managing their golden thread of data for their properties. So we will hold that data in our systems, and we will hold effectively a history of compliance information for those properties, from assessments through to recommendations and remedial actions that come out of those assessments, from periodic visits and planned preventative maintenance actions, and everything that a contractor has done in response to those recommendations, along with the evidence to show that it has indeed been completed. And so anybody that's looking at or analysing any of our clients can be shown a really robust audit trail over a period of time, which is backed up in the cloud. It's as good as it can be. The other benefit of having us across varying compliance streams is that there can be an interaction between those. We might be in a property looking at fire safety, but understand that actually there's an electrical issue, and we have the expertise in-house to look at that, and it's a matter of referring it to another one of our departments and having one of our electrical safety engineers on site to look at that issue. It also means that when we're dealing with clients is that we have interface with all the different compliance regimes with that client. And so we might be talking to one particular department and know that they need to be talking to another department because something else is happening at that particular property. Maybe it's already happened or it's going to be happening, and that's really, really useful. So it's a bit like when you see somebody digging up a road and think, my goodness, they're digging it up for gas safety. Wouldn't it be great if they just put down some fibre optic cabling at the same time whilst that road's being dug up? That's kind of an analogy of what we do with our clients, is we help them avoid that double handling of work.